Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Bestinslot, and today, as part of a brand new 4-part mini-series, we are going to play Magic Duels. I'm going to say up front right now, this is a sponsored video. The lovely folks over at Wizards of the Coast got in touch with me a few weeks back and asked me to do this series as part of their sort of promotion for the game. And basically what I'm going to do is take a look at the game, we're going to show off the various modes and stuff like that, and I will give you my honest opinion on the game. So that it is sponsored, I am being paid to produce these videos. I'm going to put that out there right now. We want full and total transparency here, but it's not going to change my opinion of the game. Any problems I've encountered I will mention, but you know, if there's good things as well, we will discuss the good things as well. You know, we're going to be open and honest about both positive and negative. That's what I'm trying to get across here. Now, so people kind of know where I am as a player, I have completed the first campaign of Magic Duels. I keep saying Duels back to me, it's so hard not to say Duels. Magic Duels, and other than that, I'm not much of a Magic player. I've never really dabbled in it in the past that much. I did play a lot of Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh when growing up, but in terms of online TCGs, particularly free-to-play ones, which Magic Duels is, my main experience comes from a lot of experience with Hearthstone, where I am a fairly high-ranked player. So whilst I'm not prolifically knowledgeable about Magic, I kind of know the basics and stuff, and I'm pretty good overall at card games. So that kind of should give you ideas of where I am, what my level is, and hopefully you guys can use that to compare to yourself. The fact that I'm quite new to Magic, if any of you are also new to Magic, you know, this is your first time checking out the series, hopefully that offers quite a good perspective. So we're going to go through the UI, we're going to go through this basic homepage first. I have recorded the entirety of story mode and completely screwed it up, so that's actually completed, but we're going to go through and do one of these fights as well. The story mode is actually pretty cool in this game. Basically, as these 5 planewalkers, these 4 aren't unlocked at this point in time, but there's 5 planewalkers from the different planes, and you play through, and at least with Gideon's, you play him as a kid, and he starts to grow up, and he changes throughout the game, your deck grows and stuff like that. There's a lot more plot and lore to it. The only other Magic game I played was Magic 2012, which I believe was called Duels of the Planewalkers. And whilst it had quite a big campaign, more battles than this one does at the moment, I think, it was lacking in plot and story. There was very little to connect it all together, whereas this one's got, you know, cutscenes and all this kind of jazz. So, but this is Gideon Juris. We're going to go ahead and play the final fight in this one. As you see, you work through this. So you start off as a kid, you're fighting the guards, then you get taken to slave pens when you get arrested. Then you start to grow up, and this guy starts to realise you've got this hieromancy ability, this power. Leads you to face the Harpies defending the city, then the terrifying Cyclops attacks the city, you defend from that, and finally you have to defend yourself and the rest of the city against this. We'll go ahead and read this. This is the fight we're going to go into, and I'm going to explain some of the mechanics for those who are very new to Magic along the way. If you are completely accustomed to Magic and you know all the rules and stuff, I do apologise for this upcoming bit, but for those who are completely new, I'd like to explain the mechanics as I also showcase the game itself. Now, before I get into this, I do want to mention something quickly. As you are going through the campaign, you go on something called like a skill quest or something. The name is escaping me right now. It's like a skill challenge that pops up, and you complete this and it gives you some gold, but it's a good way to introduce you to various like abilities and techniques that are going to come up within Magic. It's a nice organic way of introducing the tactics of the game, essentially, the rules of the game. However, several of them are currently bugged, at least for me. It would get to the point where the game wants me to, say, showcase blocking or trample to get past an enemy's block, and the enemy would not use a creature, and I'd just attack the enemy and kill them. So clearly there's a few kinks to be worked out there. And again, I'm trying to be open and honest with you guys, so I'm going to put that out there right now. A couple of the skill things are a little bit bugged. I've not experienced any bugs with the main campaign itself. Let's go! The ground shudders, and the putrid smell of rot fills your nostrils. The shadow of Erebos' Titan falls across you and your irregulars. It's a bit of a mean name, isn't it? You raise your spear and it radiates the light of the sun. The Titan bellows ferociously. You charge forward anyway, because we're a little bit badass. That's just the way we are. So, Kithian versus Erebos' Titan. It's our turn, because we're special like that. So, I am going to explain Magic as much as I humanly can. Oh, it's not my turn. I don't know. Oh, it is my turn. So every turn you want to play something called a land card. This one is planes, because we're using a light-based deck. You can also use mix and match, combining the 5 different planes of Magic. but we are a light-based deck, so we're going to play a Plains card. Now what that does is if we zoom in on our Elite Vanguard card here, who has 2 attack and 1 health, you can see he requires 1 light mana in the top right here to be played. If we zoom in on this guy, Oreskos Swiftclaw, he requires 1 light mana and then 1 mana of any other kind. Now you can only play 1 Plains card per turn. So to use a comparison that works for me, it's kind of like in Hearthstone where you gain an extra mana crystal every turn, but you have to have Plains cards in order to gain that mana. And it also means you can fuse different decks together, so if I had a light and fire deck, I could use a fire mana for that one and a light one for that one. And as you'll see here, we play the Elite Vanguard, the light card gets tapped, which means it goes onto its side like this, and that means that mana is used up for that turn. Now because this guy's just been played, he's got this purple swirly thing, which is lovely. And that means he's got Summoning Sickness and can't attack this turn, so he's just going to kind of sit there doing his thing. He can, however, defend, but obviously the opposition can't attack right now. Anyway, second turn we play another Plains card. That gives us 2 mana total, so even though it's 2 light ones, we can use this guy. And we're going to play our Kitty Cat. Who's this Kitty Cat? Cat Warrior, Oreskos Swiftclaw. And wait and see what the opponent does. Now, I really like... Oh no, it's my turn. So this is the attack turn now, and in this game you only attack the opposition's facial regions. You only attack the opponent directly. In terms of creature-on-creature fighting, that occurs when somebody tries to block. It's actually quite tactical, and I quite enjoy that aspect to it. It's different than Hearthstone and other games I've played, but it's very interesting. You kind of have to think a lot more about... It's a lot more complicated in general, but the game does ease you into it quite well. You know, I've been playing for maybe 5 hours of Magic total, and I do feel quite accustomed with the rule set. I don't know. Plus, I look fabulous. Look at that. Look at that haircut. It's the long hair and the facial hair together. It's fantastic. Oh no. Brain Maggot. When Brain Maggot enters the battlefield, a target opponent reveals his or her hand and you choose a non-land card from it. Exile that card until Brain Maggot leaves the battlefield. What that means is, Brain Maggot gets picked, picks one of my 3 cards, so one of these 3 here, non-land, so land, so it has to be one of these 3. And he stole my, can I zoom in on it? Yeah, my Banisher Priest. So now until I kill the Brain Maggot, he keeps that card under there. I can't use it. Now if I kill the Brain Maggot somehow, if he has to use it to defend, or I get a spell to kill it, then I'll get that card back into my hand. Now this thing here is called an enchantment. An enchantment is different than a spell or a character in that it's kind of permanent. So this enchantment, white creatures you control get +1/+1. We can play that for 2 mana, when I remember how to zoom out, and that's going to have a permanent effect on my side of the board. Now the opponent can get rid of these. There's various things that eliminate enchantments in the game, but they're not there right now, so we can go ahead and attack his face for 7. He could block one of these with this Brain Maggot. He would die and not actually get a kill because his 1 attack wouldn't kill either of my guys, but he would prevent damage to his face. A 1/1 can block a 10/10 and it'll die, but you would still take no damage in that situation. The discrepancy doesn't matter unless the attacker has an ability called Trample, which means excess damage goes past. Now as you see, he's attacking, but I actually can't block because I attacked with both of my guys, which means they're both tapped for this turn. So he got 1 damage on me, but I can't say I'm not worried. Grim Guardian, enchantment creature, which is enchantment and a creature together, obviously. Whenever Grim Guardian or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life. Well, that's not fun, is it? Now this guy's quite annoying. With 1 attack and 4 health, it means he can block my 3/2 and survive, basically. And I still can't play either of these. I need more Plains cards. So I'm going to attack with both again. And the 4/2 will get through, the 3/2 will be blocked. If your creature takes damage, so my 3/2 is about to take 1 point of damage from this skeleton, and he's about to take 3 points of damage, both will reset to full health. It's only complete trades that count. So he's got 1/1, I'm a 3/1, but you'll see now we go back to 3/2 and 1/4. It's good. I've started to enjoy it. The main thing I like in this game is this little red thing. Watch it. Lovely. I'm about to take some damage because he's playing a Grim Guardian. I should drop down to 17 because he's played an enchantment creature, like it says in the effect we saw a second ago. Yeppers. Took 2 damage, which is mean. Another Swiftclaw. Kind of just need another Plains card. Both of these require 5 mana and I've got 4. But we can double attack again. He's going to block again. Actually, he's going to block the 3-2, so there's not much point. We may as well just go in with the 4-2. And that leaves the 3-2 open for a potential block move if I wanted, you know? Ah, what he's done is blocked with the 1-4 and the 1-4. So he'll kill the first one, but then his second one is going to come and kill me. Which is why I should have used the 3-2. In retrospect, that was a mistake. Oops. But I've got another one. It's not that big a deal. It's vaguely irritating, I'm not going to lie. Quag Sickness, Enchanted Creature. Enchanted Creature gets minus... Oh, God. So I get -4/-4, because he controls 4 swamps. He's cast that on my lovely jubbly lion. My lovely jubbly lion is going to die. Despite being lovely jubbly. People are just so mean. What can I say? Now, this is a problem unless I get a Plains Guard. I got a Plains Guard! So, he's a 3-2. Now this guy's got something very cool called Double Strike, which means... I'll explain. I'm going to play him. So he's got Flying first of all, which means he can only be blocked by creatures that have either Flying or another ability called Reach. So that's his first thing. So if I attacked with him, like I'm going to attack with this guy and it's pointless. Actually, so I don't know why I'm bothering, because he's going to block with his 1-4, nothing happens. But if I attacked with my 3-3, he couldn't block it, because he's neither Flying, nor does he have the Reach ability. So that's why Flying is quite viable. He's also got something called Double Attack, and what that does is it gives him 2 things. It gives him first hit, which means, let's say my 3-3 was blocked by a 3-3, like a normal 3-3, a Flying 3-3. It would mean he would get first strike, so my 3-3 would kill his 3-3 before his could retaliate. And Double Strike also means that if nobody blocks him, as they're about to now, he actually hits twice. So he would hit for 6 damage. But I'm also going to use this guy's ability, which applies a 1-1 marker to somebody on your field. So when supply line Cretans enter the battlefield, put a 1-1 counter on, which means this guy becomes 4-4. He can't block now. The only way he survives this turn is if he has a spell, an instant cast spell, that will stop my 4-4 in its tracks. I'm hoping he doesn't. I don't think he does. I don't think he does. No, he does, he does, he does! Target creature gets -4/-4 till end of turn, so I just died. My 4-4 died anyway. Instant cast spells can be cast any stage during the game. You know, they're not limited to your own turn at all. What a pain in the ass. Oh, okay. That's fine. That's fine. You know, the last time I played that card, when I was recording this the first time, the same thing happened. I really should have expected it. This guy was also a problem. Whenever Doomwake Giant or another enchantment enters the battlefield, the main problem is it's a 4-6. I have no way currently of getting past the 4-6. Fortunately, this guy is a flying critter, which means he naturally gets past that way. So I lied a second ago, basically. So play that, play our Eagle, which also has flying, because he's lovely jubbly. He also has something called Vigilance, which means if he attacks, he can still block in the same turn. So you'll see this guy will attack now. No point attacking with the 3-2, he'd actually die to the 4-6 and achieve nothing. 3-5 will go in, does 3 damage, lovely jubbly. But now he's tapped and he can't block during my opponent's turn, whereas the Eagle of the Watch could actually do both. Hopefully this is all making sense. Okay, another 4-2. He's got a lot of enchantment cards, which scares me slightly. A lot of buffing and stuff going on here. It just gave him the ability Intimidate. So basically, he can only be blocked by deaf creatures or artifact creatures. And I don't have any, so he's about to attack me for 4. And there's nothing. There's literally nothing I can do about it. He's actually going to attack with all 3 of these, which is a mistake. So what I'm going to do here is block his brain maggot thingamajiggy with this guy here, because that'll kill him and that'll unlock my card in his hand. Because you'll remember this guy banished my creature ages ago. So he's going to attack me for 5, which I can handle. But these both die, I get my guy back. Now remember, this guy is a Banisher Priest. So what this guy does is when he enters play, he banishes much in the same way that the maggot does. When he dies, the opponent gets their critter back. But whatever. We're going to play that now, just in case there's any funny business going on. We play him, and we click his Doomwake Giant, and that will take him out of the battle until my priest dies. Just the way you saw with the maggot a second ago. But these are both flyers, I'd expect them to both get past. This should be a kill. It's a kill! Huzzah! Well done, Kithian. Well done, buddy. Well done. So that is the basics of how a Magic game works. Obviously, at high level play, there's a lot of tactics into it, blah, 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 but whatever. There was actually... I'm going to show you guys the CGI cutscene in a minute that usually plays there. It's only not playing because I've seen it before, but... Actually, let's go check that out now. Story mode. Main menu. If we go into help and options. Settings. Video gallery. Gideon's story. So this is what would play after that fight originally. I apologize, it's a little quiet. It's very quiet compared to the game. I've never really known why. So I'm going to tell you guys what's happening in this 1995 music video, seemingly. The CGI in this is clearly from the mid-90s. I'm just putting this out there. Look at it. Bless them. Usually they don't do CGI, you can tell. It's adorable. Oh, it's the characters. He's okay. He's not too bad. It's the other guys. Spins the spear around. Gets hit by a shocking blow. He's very shocked by this. Oh, everyone's dead. Despite my beautiful facial hair. And then it explodes from shock. That facial expression is beautiful right there. He literally does explode from shock. Maybe grief. We'll call it shock. Lands in a field. It's very nice. It's a lion. I thought it was a horse at first. It's not. It's definitely a lion. And there's men on the lions. Look at it. It's magical. It's so mid-90s. I can't believe it. Angel appears with a nice ass sword. Everyone has a grand time. Some of the situation. Everyone's really happy. Aww. That's about it, really. Okay, so I'll show you the rest of the stuff here. Particularly graphics. Nothing really complicated, but it's a card game at the end of the day. Some stuff for well, players. Like if you wanted to speed things up, say you're like a professional player, whatever, you just like say simplify, get rid of the combat animation, get rid of I'm gonna get rid of that. Simplified targeting means you can't make mistakes with your creature target. Like if you had an ability to destroy a minion and you wanted to use it on your opponent and you misclicked on your own, this would stop that happening. But I'd prefer to, I kind of like having that, so let's do that. So that's gameplay and graphics, audio, kind of what you'd expect. You've seen the video option, let's go back. Controls, meow. Good job, Blade. You can play it with a gamepad. You can play it, oh, I love that controller so much. Credits, I'm not going to show you that. Help. How to play, blah, blah, blah. Customer service, because it takes you to the customer service web page, very helpful. Is that it for this page? Yes, it is. So quests we haven't unlocked yet. We're going to see that in a future video. Card collection I'll show you guys in a second. Let's check the store out. So you get these booster packs and they cost gold. We're going to buy one now. I've got enough coins to buy. Wait, is there any? No, as far as I can see, there's no discount, is there? Or I'm just awful at maths. No, there's no discount. So we're going to go ahead and buy a pack. Why not? More of these will be released down the line when real booster packs come out in Magic Origins, in like the actual trading card game. The booster packs will also be released in Magic Duels, which I think is pretty cool. What do we get? What do we get? I'm so excited. Oh, when you finish the campaign, you actually get 3 of these, just so you know. Knight of the Pilgrim's Road. Good, good. Fits in our light deck. Infernal Scarring. Read the Bones. Bounding Krasis. Consecrated by Blood, and Harbinger of the Tides. What I really love about this, let's, for example, this one. Just, there's so much to Magic. You know, the game has been around for such a very, very, very long time, and there's such a wide array. I promise I speak English, I promise. There's such a massive array of, like, art out there, and I could sit for ages. We'll do it now, actually, if we return to card collection. It's really fun just to kind of sit here and zoom in, find out who the artist was, and just look at all this great artwork up close. I do the same in Hearthstone as well. You want to see it more. It's really cool. You can organise this, filter it into the different stuff if you want to build yourself a deck, or just kind of have a look at what cards you're missing. To give you a feel for how many cards there are, I suppose we can do this. So, not that many in the game right now, actually, in my opinion. That's all the cards in the game. It's not tons, but the game has just come out, and like I said, when expansions come out, there'll be more expansions, blah, 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 blah. The game is going to grow. That's one of the benefits of being free to play, is that it can expand over time rather than kind of like, say, doing 2 or 3 DLC packs. You get your cards for it, and then they release another game and your cards are gone. I prefer the free-to-play model for card games mainly for that reason. I prefer lots of little sets rather than having to buy a new game every year. And as long as it's not pay to win, which I don't think it doesn't feel it so far. I know that's the main thing. I actually want to address that briefly. What is that? A lot of people are worried about that. That's the main problem people seem to have with Magic Duels. Free-to-play obviously has a big stigma with it, and it always will do. At least for a good while yet. And I think it can be done well. Again, I'm going to mention Hearthstone, but Hearthstone is fantastic. It's a fantastic showcase of how to do free-to-play properly, and the fact it's a card game is a good sign for Magic Duels. And I can't say duels like a normal person. It's a good sign for it. It is, because it's proven that it can work, and as long as your system is fair, some people who love the game will spend money on it. I've spent money on Hearthstone, not loads, but I have spent money on Hearthstone, and if I fall in love with this in the same way, and I do like this, I like the slightly more deep aspect to this. It's definitely a more complicated game than Hearthstone is, but still quite easy to get into. That's appealing, you know? But we don't know how that's going to pan out long term. I can't make any promises on that. Maybe it's horrifically difficult to earn cards. All I know is I've completed 1 campaign and I've got 4 decks so far, 4 booster packs so far. When you first go into the store, when you first load this up from Steam, you will actually get a starter kit that contains quite a few cards as well. To show you guys how much coins cost, I worked it out. That's about 220 cards. So it's something like, I've completely forgotten how to do maths. 10, 20, 30. And it's quite a lot anyway. No, it's not. It's more than that. I definitely can't do maths. It's more than that. It's 260, 270 cards for about 25 quid. As far as I know, the rate is actually better than Hearthstone's. But this seems pretty reasonable to me, generally speaking. Let's say you went for a middle option, £6.38 isn't much. 1,250 coins, that would get you 8, so 40-ish cards, which is basically like a pack in real life. Obviously, the more you go up in the coins, this is much more valued than the lower. Like, the difference is extreme in terms of value. It really is absolutely crazy. But hopefully how well done the free-to-play system is will kind of become more apparent as we move through. Next episode, what we're going to do is go into battle mode, where we can play online, hopefully, and play solo against the AI. We're also going to build our own deck using Magic Duels' built-in deck helper thingamajiggy. They've got like something that helps you build your own deck, and considering I've never built a deck in Magic before, that is very good news. So we're going to do that in the next episode as well. That's going to be in a week's time. We're going to split these over the next month, 1 a week on every Wednesday. So if you're interested in finding out more about the game and you want to see battle mode, come back next Wednesday. We'll look at quests when we've unlocked that, and we'll do a bit more story mode if it unlocks. Okay, I think that's about it. To sum up, I'm enjoying it so far. Free to play seems okay, doesn't seem particularly abusive. However, the game does have some bugs. And personally, I think the deck screen, not the deck screen, the battle screen is a little mundane. You know, it's a little dull. It's just this grey blob. But whatever, that's my personal preference. It'll depend on you guys as well. Good points and bad points, but overall a positive impression in the first couple of hours I spent with the game. Thank you very much for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I want to remind you guys this was a sponsored video. Although, if I keep bitching about the grey blob, it probably won't be anymore. And I'll see you lovely folks in the next episode. Cheers, much love, as always. Bye-bye.